Human trafficking, modern day in slavery, is the second largest criminal industry in the world and is the fastest growing one.
What?
90% of what we call prostitution is in fact human trafficking.
90%.
We are tolerating this. If there wasn't customers, there wouldn't be an
That's right.
industry. So if anybody says, oh, I just watched the legit adult entertainment, there's no such statistic of what percentage is legit and what percentage is human trafficking.
Like on the videos.
You might be witnessing a crime against humanity and you don't know it.
Oh my God, I never considered that.
90% of the population of the world is unable to name not even 3 of the 30 universal human rights. When the slave trade happened from Africa, taking people in boats, chained like animals and being sold, probably was about 12, 13 million people that they took. Right?
In the whole time.
3 centuries. Today, the estimation is 48 million people.
Guys, today I have one of the most incredible human beings that have ever been on this podcast, and actually one of the most incredible heroes of humanity since the beginning of time, guys. Raúl Arias, who is the president of Youth for Human Rights in Latin America. He also is a massive, amazing businessman and TikTok sensation, okay? Over 100 million views on TikTok, okay? Bringing happiness through
150 we found.
It's crazy. One video, 46 million views. That's with the Bloopys markers. They're amazing. My daughter has them. They are incredible. But this guy is a human rights activist for more than 20 years, literally saving people from slavery. Literally, no exaggeration. So Raúl Arias, welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that introduction. I feel, wow.
That was a hot introduction.
Dude,
that was one of the best.
Because he's, I mean, dude, look at this guy.
They're not always that good, dude.
Thank
That
you,
was
yeah.
legit.
I
I
feel
just
so
want to
honored.
say, I met you, just so everyone knows, like, I met this man at an event where literally a lady who was in a forced environment, she was being human trafficked, and the story of how she got in there, and she told the story, the thing, and you were involved in getting her out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was so touched that moment because I go, there's good guys. There are good guys. We're in a fight right now. We're in a battle, and you don't see it because most of this stuff is hidden. So today we want to reveal the cover of how intertwined these industries are and how we can do something about it.
This is the pulling the curtain back episode, we could call it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, how bad is human trafficking in the United States and Mexico, which I'm sure you know, but like, how bad is it?
It's very bad in the world. Human trafficking is obviously a human rights violation. I'm a human rights activist, so I promote human rights education. And there's one human right that says that every human being is born with the right of not being a slave of anybody in any way, shape, or form. But human trafficking, modern day in slavery, is the second largest criminal industry in the world. Only second to drugs.
Wow.
That's $245 billion estimation per year.
The drug or the
No,
trafficking?
the human trafficking.
Oh.
Drugs is
$245 billion?
$245 billion estimated per year. And an estimated 70% of that comes from sexual exploitation. That's the girl you were talking about. Sexual exploitation.
Can I ask a question already?
Yeah.
Who's paying for this?
There you go.
Where is
the
that money
problem.
coming from?
The society. You know,
Individual.
Nobody
people.
listens to this podcast though.
Yeah.
But the people who are saying, hey, don't listen to this podcast, these guys are jokes. That guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Wow.
No, but you hit the
Sorry, I just got it.
you hit the right spot.
Yeah.
It's, the society, we as a society have learned to tolerate this. So we don't,
Wow.
we're not customers, we're not traffickers, but we tolerate it in a way, you know? Who pays for that? Customers who walk in the streets, wear ties, drive cars, eat in restaurants. Yeah,
Wow.
I think that's the biggest problem. And that's
Wow.
why raising awareness, if it's not all the solution, is the first step for the solution. Yeah.
So you were going over numbers. I totally interrupted.
Yeah, so $245 billion estimated. 70% of that comes from sexual exploitation. And it's not only the second largest criminal industry in the world. Some people say third, some people say second, but it's the fastest growing one.
What?
Fastest growing one. So
My initial reaction to that is no way.
yeah,
I believe
I know.
you. I know who you are.
That
but
was also my initial reaction.
fastest growing criminal enterprise on the planet.
Human trafficking. Yeah.
Is there sorry, continue.
So
I'm already like.
no, I mean, ask the question because I mean, that itself. That's why I got involved in this because
how can that be?
Because, like I said, there's a lack of responsibility, I think, in the world.
Mhm.
You know, nobody talks about it. it happens somewhere else, But I have seen cases in my family. My sister-in-law on Facebook, she had this boyfriend. She was 15 years old, and I was packing my bag to go on tour to give seminars on human rights. And my wife was telling me, my daughter has a boyfriend. My sister has a boyfriend now. I said, really? Oh, cool. I'm packing my bag, and but she doesn't know him. She met him on Facebook. What? And let me see the photo. No, there's no photo.
What?
No, but he sent her a necklace as a gift yesterday, and it's a Swarovski necklace. So she gave him her address. I said, don't you know what I do for? So we actually call people that I know, in the authorities and the police, and they did an investigation, and they catch the guy.
What?
And it was a potential human trafficking scenario, So
in catching that guy, so it was only potential with your sister-in-law, but it had happened with others.
Yeah.
Right. So this guy. So what was? I mean.
Well, they did an investigation. I don't know if he remained there or not, but they catch him. They knew who he was, and he was presented for an investigation. I don't know the results, but at least my sister-in-law was safe.
Out of that.
Wow.
But it can happen anywhere. I know people here, unfortunately, in Clearwater, Florida, who have gone through. I know at least 2 cases that they have been victims of it.
Can there's, and I will tell you one thing that I'm very surprised about, Brad, that I want to share, because this story to me, it shook me to my core. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a person, I don't know them. Okay. But it's like friend of a friend of a friend or whatever. Some person who is here in this area, Greater Tampa Bay. A guy. Okay. Meets a girl on some app. Not like a Tinder, but something like a Tinder, whatever, but like international, right? Meet some like Mexican hot lady or something and talk. And they were talking to this girl for, I don't know, like a month and talking this, blah, I'm going to go see you. And I believe this was Mexico. If it wasn't, it was Colombia. And I'm sorry. I don't have all the details. I don't know this person. But they came out of the airport to meet them. So they arranged everything, this FaceTime, videos, everything, the whole deal. And this lady, she's like, I'm here. Okay, she sees the guy. They grab him, put him into a van with the lady. The lady leaves. The guy gets taken, and he gets raped for like 3 days straight. Takes all his stuff, raped, attacked. Then they make him log into all of his accounts, transfer all the money out, do all the verification. Like the whole, like every single penny to his name, every bank account, every statement, everything, transfer everything over to save his life. And then they left him on the side of the road, totally naked after getting, violated, not just sexually, but like everything, every single pen, everything that he ever has, and just let him outside the road. And he lived. I mean, he made it back to wherever society, and he did this. But this is a dude. It's not just women. Like, of course, probably the vast majority is women. But like,
no, there's also men.
But this is.
Yeah.
When I heard that story, I'm like,
is there a known split? Like, is there a known?
I've seen statistics of 90% women.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Dude, wow.
Yeah, I don't know how they do these estimations, but whatever, it's like big. I was in Germany because there's an organization in France called Shields Foundation, and I read a study they did. Shields, SCHILLES, Shields, and they did a study in 70 nations, 70. And they say that 90% of what we call prostitution is, in fact, human trafficking.
90%.
90%. And when I went to Germany one time, to this organization that rescues survivors of human trafficking, this woman told me that in Germany, where prostitution is legal since the year 2000,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Prostitution is legal in Germany?
So, Germany, Switzerland, Denmark. Yeah. And in theory is to control it better, no? And there has less human trafficking. But what she told me, this woman, it was 2019, that in Germany, 60% of the prostitutes come from Eastern Europe, 35% come from Africa, only 5% are German. Oh. Yeah. That right there is an indicator of human trafficking. That right there, you know? And the way they get these statistics, I don't understand. They know how to do it. There's systems to do it.
They maybe do sampling, they get, and then you just survey
Exactly.
out of 100 that we got, how
Exactly.
many something.
But the point is that I've been doing this for 20 years, and everywhere I go, I visited more than 30 countries,
Mhm.
you know, talking about it. And I hear stories, personal stories. I met mothers that lost their daughters, never found them, or found them dead.
Oof.
I met girls who survived, like the one you
Mhm.
met, Nelly. I met Carla, you know, many girls who told me their stories. This girl, she was sexually exploited from age 12 to 16 years old. She said she did an average of 30 to 40 customers per day for 4 years. When she told me
12
that,
years old. What kind of sick guy?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the problem is not just the traffickers, but
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, who does that?
There you
who
go.
does who?
Again.
Who?
Yeah.
How?
again, you're
Yeah.
hitting the right spot.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when I started doing this, I thought, how can I help?
Yeah.
How can I help? I was not a father then. Today, I have 2 daughters. So you can imagine.
Yeah. Same.
But how can I make a difference? You know, I cannot go to all the criminals and say, hey, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
I cannot go to the girls and save them all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I can go to the society and make them aware that we are tolerating this.
Mhm.
If there wasn't customers, there wouldn't be an
That's right.
industry.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
this is the truth. And, you know, for example, there's this organization, Fight the New Drug. You can look at their website.
Fight the new drug.
The new drug.
And is that trafficking?
It's about not only trafficking, it's about I don't want to say the word, but the thing on the internet that some men watch.
Oh, yeah.
Adult entertainment,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
Adult,
P-hub.
the adult entertainment.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they say there's no such statistic of what percentage is legit and what percentage is human trafficking.
Like on the videos.
On the videos, right?
Oh, yeah.
Why there's not such statistic? Because it's impossible to tell the difference.
Yes.
So if anybody says, oh, I just watched the legit adult entertainment, it's impossible. You might be witnessing a crime against humanity and you don't know it. You know, it's, you don't know. So, yeah.
Oh my God, I never considered that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because some people think, oh,
Dude.
I'm just messing
Yeah,
up
yeah,
my
yeah.
mind or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll make it up later or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
No, you might be witnessing a crime against humanity. There's
Oh my
so many
God.
ex-adult entertainment artists that come out and say that the abuse is in the industry.
Yeah.
You know,
It makes total sense.
the main point here, you know what human rights all about?
Mm.
Respect and dignity.
Mm-hmm.
Respect. One definition that we can use is the golden rule that has been in mankind in humanity forever. No, it's don't do to others what you want to be done to yourself. That way, you know if something is good or bad without going deep into philosophy or ethics or whatever. And dignity comes from the Latin word dignus, which means value, and it's the value a human being has for the simple fact that it's a human being.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to put a price on a human being.
Yeah.
Anything that puts a price on a human being,
Yeah.
call it any platform app
Right.
where probably they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even there's things going on that are not okay because there's not a price for a human. You cannot buy a human being
Yeah.
Right.
in any way,
Yeah.
you know? So I always, when I give my seminars, put this example of a video that I saw on TikTok that this guy told to another guy, hey, what would you say if I say I'm going to give you $1 million? And he said, oh, I'll be happy. Okay, what if I told you that the only condition is that you don't wake up tomorrow? Then I don't want it.
Mhm.
Oh, what if it was 5 million? No, 10 million. Okay, so you're telling me that waking up tomorrow is more valuable than having $10 million in that? Yeah. So that's the dignity of the human being has no price.
Mhm.
You know,
Wow.
who is more, who has more value here of the three of us? No one.
Yeah.
Is the same value. Of course, your mom loves you more to you than, you know.
Well, since you're
But
the guest, I think we have to say. I think we have to say you, Raúl.
But that's
I think
particular
that's
case.
our responsibility to say you.
But, you know, when you understand that and we communicate. Now, why did I dedicate my life to teach human rights? When I found Youth for Human Rights, you know, the purpose of Youth for Human Rights is to teach human rights to youth, I say of all ages, right? 13 to 99. After 99, no, because it's too much excitement. It can be dangerous for the health. But to teach human rights, specifically the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights is the most accepted human rights document in the world.
Right.
And to inspire them to become advocates for tolerance and peace.
Mhm.
So then you have people getting together, pushing an idea of freedom, of dignity.
Yeah.
And an idea cannot be stopped. not a
Right.
wall, not a bullet, not a bomb.
You're right.
Nothing can stop an idea.
An idea can go through
Exactly.
8-inch thick steel.
Exactly.
And it's a battle of ideas.
Yeah.
Because there's this idea,
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
this harmless whatever, and you're actually creating an industry that literally is creating slavery
Mhm.
at levels probably right now higher than there ever has been in history.
Yeah.
No?
You know what I realized?
higher
while-
than ever before.
Yeah. What I realized while you were talking is I asked earlier, like, how can that be that it's the fastest growing industry? But you made it make sense. The internet is the answer.
Yeah.
The internet is literally wow. And it literally is a battle of ideas. If you look at
It's
the
a battle of
internet,
ideas.
the whole internet is just ideas, like ideas fighting for the attention of the populace.
Exactly.
That's basically what the internet has become at this point.
Exactly.
And if you look at where the traffic is on the internet, we got to redirect.
Yeah,
some of
listen,
that
if you
traffic.
ask, I'm sure if you ask ChatGPT or some other AI, like, hey, are these websites like good or acceptable? And they'll be like, yes, of course. You know,
Mhm.
there's people and they make money and internet. Because these things, they just feed off whatever has the most articles or the most
Correct.
whatever, and the money is in exploiting. That's where money is. And
Yeah.
so the mass is gonna have an agreement unless we battle and we say, hey, no, one human life is worth more than whatever you're gonna make.
Yeah.
And you cannot traffic it. And it's these two ideas,
Exactly.
and they bring awareness.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the way of changing is to get people not so obsessed with that topic that are gonna stop valuing lives.
Yeah. I think that's why this organization, Fight the New Drug, is called Fight the New Drug, because it's a drug. You start going down, you try to get this sensation of whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they have done research on the keywords that people look in that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't imagine. It's just perverted. It's sick. It's
Yeah.
sick. Trust me. It's like, so if that creates a market, they need someone to fulfill that demand, you see? And that's why human trafficking, because it's so
It's hard to get
sick.
someone to willingly do
Exactly
what people are
Who
searching
would?
for.
Who would want to do 40
Got it.
customers a day?
Got
Who?
it. Yeah.
So that's why, they need to fulfill that demand. So we need to reach the society, because I believe most of the society is good people, but we need education. When the Universal Declaration was approved, it was 1948.
Mhm.
And it was written inspired in the atrocities of World War II.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been more than 75 years.
Wow.
And in World War II, more than 90 million people died, And so it ended in 1945. The United Nations were formed a month after. And the purpose was to prevent humanity to suffer the horrors of war.
Mm-hmm.
And then they realized that there wasn't a universal document about human rights. There were some documents that would inspire humanity. Like Cyrus the Great, when he conquered Babylon, he wrote a piece of human rights on a clay cylinder, in this Cyrus cylinder. And it's still in a museum in London, you know. That's the first written record we have on human rights. In Greece, in England, the Carta Magna. There's many documents. The Declaration of Independence of the United States is based on human rights. But there wasn't a universal document. So there was a commission led by one woman, American, Eleanor Roosevelt, and 19 people from different countries. 7 of them wrote this document, and it was adopted in December 10, 1948, in Paris. And after the United Nations adopted it, every nation in the UN, today is 193 nations, they said this should be taught in schools so that the future generations learn and don't make the same mistakes, right?
Yeah.
You know how many countries, to my knowledge, have put this in schools?
2?
0.
Oh my
To
God.
my knowledge, hopefully someone will correct me, but I have done research for 20 years. But we are trying to, in Mexico, what happens when you fight in this way? I don't want to say fight, but work hard to raise the awareness, no? In Mexico, we were part of a historic constitutional reform that included human rights education in the Constitution, you know?
Wow.
It's in there.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
in
so
there.
a law,
It's in the
but
Constitution.
Then what happened?
Wow.
Then
Well,
But
now
what
you
does
can
the
see
Constitution say about it in terms of human rights education?
it says that the subject of education should cover human rights.
Okay, good.
Big win, no?
Great.
I mean,
That's a
that's
huge-
great.
Yeah, that's great.
And then now in the textbooks of the public education, there is a mentioning of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We're
Okay.
trying to make it more deep.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
put in the.
They have
because
one sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have
It's
this.
better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and they talk about human rights in many ways, which is great.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure many countries do it.
Yeah.
But this, I show this because this is a simplified version of the Universal Declaration. We put it in a simplified version in a language that anybody can read and understand.
Yep.
So I hope they can put this there.
Yes.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
Because it focuses on the responsibility of each human being that to recognize that I'm born, just because the fact that I was born, I have rights.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I also have responsibilities. And one of my responsibilities is to make sure that everybody enjoys these rights, not just me, because if everybody don't enjoy them, they will never be a reality for me. That's a reality, you know? Other thing that happened in Mexico that I would like to think that we had some credit on it is that, like 8 years ago or 10 years ago, there was a change in the human trafficking law, who was not, that was not really working very well. And that started an operation of raiding places where they were doing human trafficking.
Yeah.
And many of them were shut down. Many girls were rescued, you know. Of course, there's many things involved in that. And I cannot say, hey, no. But, we've been pushing the same message for many years. Yeah. And that happened. So why not? Why not dreaming in a world where we can respect each other? When people say, no, I don't want to buy that because I don't want to be part of, hurting the dignity of a human being. Yeah. So that's my dream. That's why I work every day. Of course, my daughters are my main motivation. Yeah. I told my wife that, we have 2 daughters and we love them.
How old?
10 and 7.
Okay.
Wow.
But I said,
same as my daughter, brother. My daughter's 10 and 7.
The artist. Yeah.
Actually, it's the same.
That's awesome.
Wow. But I told her that it's like we adopted 2.5 billion children. We have 2 biological, 2.5 billion adopted. If you look at it from that perspective, because who is fighting for them? Who is making sure they're going to have a bright future? Not enough people. Yeah. By teaching human rights is like planting seeds in a fertile soil that will give us those fruits of people who are going to become heroes tomorrow. Yeah. There's the next superhero that's probably going to change the situation,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So how did you become involved in this sector of the world in the first place?
Well,
how did you become interested in this?
I found Youth for Human Rights in my church because it's sponsored by the Church of Scientology. And they received an invitation to attend a human trafficking conference. Yeah. And so they said, Raúl, you want to go? Because you're a volunteer. I said, yeah, I'll go. I'll do some networking, And I didn't know much about human trafficking at the time. It was 2009.
2009.
Yeah. And I attended the place. It was the National Auditorium of Mexico. There were about 7,000 people there. And most of them were parents carrying photos of missing children. That was the scene that I saw.
Oh, my God.
There was this lady sitting on the sidewalk outside the venue with a picture of a 3-year-old girl holding the picture. She looked tired. And the picture had the date when the girl went missing. It said 1994. So it was already 15 years, no? And I looked at this woman and I thought, would she ever find her? Is she still alive? If she finds her, would she ever recognize her? I was just going crazy, And then I enter the conference and I receive all this data that I'm telling you, statistics, figures, could mean nothing or could mean that each number is a life. One life that was most likely deprived of every human right. Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, I told you.
Can I ask you a question? How you're very you're a very positive guy, and you deal with. You just delve and just dive in and just confront and are like head on with such I literally feel like me and Aaron, as you're saying this stuff, we're like, like I'm having trouble even like confronting that this is a real thing. Like you're bringing my.
I understand completely.
How do you stay so positive dealing with this stuff? I'm like,
that's a very good question
for what you're doing, man.
That's a very good question.
How do you do that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have total certainty on the power of education because I understand that one thing that I learned in Scientology is that when you raise the awareness on something, knowledge, by natural law, you raise the responsibility level. And I observe the world. We did a survey, Youth for Human Rights, internationally. And our group did the part of Mexico. 90% of the population of the world is unable to name not even 3 of the 30 universal human rights. So the level of awareness on human rights is literally less than 10%.
Wow.
So the level of responsibility, I believe, has to be at the same level.
And those universal
Hold
human
on, Brad.
rights.
How many can you name?
I can name the right to privacy.
Good.
Probably that's it.
No, come on.
Dude,
Come on. You've never seen
I mean,
this
I
one?
could no.
Have you never
I could
seen it?
probably guess. I could probably
Okay,
guess
guess
pretty
a few, guess a
accurately.
few.
Okay, so right to privacy, I know because I've done some training on that.
Okay.
So it would also have to be, I mean, I saw one about family, but I don't know. What it's
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It would have to be speech,
Yes.
freedom of movement.
Yes.
There'd have to be like some sort of like a freedom to like say no to unwanted, like you can't be physically forced to do something you don't want to do.
No slavery.
No slavery. Yeah,
There you
slavery.
go.
There you go.
Boom,
Yeah,
we got
right to
4, bro.
Not have slavery.
5.
That's amazing, bro. You passed.
Yeah.
You passed.
When we did the survey in Mexico, 92%.
Hold on. You gotta
It's
test
freaking
me.
stuck.
Test
I
me,
need to
bro.
freaking-
Test me. Test me.
Okay, you.
Test me.
Okay, you.
Okay, the right to play. This is
Yeah.
my
To
favorite one.
play?
The favorite one,
Yeah.
right to play.
To
Because
play?
check this out, dude.
Oh,
Life.
that's beautiful.
What is life?
Oh, yeah.
Without playing, what are you? You're a slave. You gotta be able to play and have fun.
It's the right to
That's
free
such a-
time, relax.
Yes,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Right to
Homework,
play,
yeah.
right to life. You have the right to live.
Yeah,
The right to move, like you said.
Yeah.
The right to live without like coercion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either slavery or some sort of coercion like that. The right to food.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right to
Oh, wow.
shelter.
Mhm. Well,
Right.
it's the same.
Right. Food and shelter, the same one. Okay. Well, I got them both.
0.5.
Right to, I said no torture. So
Yeah.
you're not,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
torture.
I just saw this.
There you go.
Right to move to another country, not just move like physically, but like to go to another country if you need to, like to not be stuck in a country.
Oh, that's violated all the time.
Yeah, right.
That's
to,
violated constantly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously not like a specific one. Like if you can't come to the United States, that's one thing. But like you can't go anywhere. Like if you're stuck,
The-
and you're forced to stay in a place.
The right is you have the right to leave your country whenever
Yes,
you want.
exactly. Leave.
To enter another people's
Is it a-
house, you
is it
have
a-
to get the permission
Yeah.
from them. So they have to say, you can come in.
But
you have to
aren't
be
there-
able to
but
leave.
aren't there countries that
You have the right to.
I'm thinking of like countries that you cannot leave right now. Like my
Yeah,
the
there's-
first thing
No,
that comes to
absolutely.
mind
No,
is
That's a
like,
violation.
100%
leaving
That's a
leaving
violation.
Russia,
That is a violation.
from my understanding, is kind of tough.
It is a violation. No, that's a violation.
Right?
So okay,
Yeah.
right to. Oh, I thought of one and then I lost it, bro.
Sorry.
That's okay. The right to work. The right to work. Be able to have a
That's
job,
good
right? Is that one?
That's a good one.
Or no?
The right to work, yeah.
Yeah, so-
yeah,
23,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what-
great.
Right
Workers'
to
rights.
expression, right? Speech.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
talked
Yeah.
about
Wow.
that. To right. To you're born free and equal. No? Free and
Yeah.
equal, is that right?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
all- We're all,
That's
we're all
number
born
one.
free and equal. The right to know your right to know your rights. Right? The right
Yeah.
to know your rights.
Well,
that-
that's
yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah.
There is
Okay,
the
yeah.
right to take the that's how we translated it, no? But
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
Okay.
it's the responsibilities we have.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna hang my.
You
my
did
hat.
great.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
hang
You
my
did
hat on.
great.
I mean, I've
That's
seen the
really
documentary
good.
at least 3
That's
times.
really
I
good.
think you
But I was
did
like,
more than
just gonna-
10.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
keep-
When we did a survey in Mexico to everybody, 900 people, about 900 people, 92% weren't able to name 3. Less than 7% weren't able to name 5.
Wow.
Not a single individual of 900, including lawyers, was able to name 10. So you were above.
Bro, it's because
Well,
I've seen this one. The thing
Let's
is,
go.
I studied it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I could probably do more if you like sat me in a room for a long time, but it's fine.
Me too. I
Yeah, yeah.
didn't know before
Yeah.
this. No, so in that event, when I heard these stories, and that's where I met that girl that talked about her experience being trafficked from 12 to 16 years old. I said, wow, I need to do something. I need to know that I'm doing something. I cannot just exist and know that the world is that crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried to understand what's the point of this program. And that was my realization that when we are raising awareness, we're raising the responsibility level of the society. And then that society wouldn't tolerate it.
Yeah.
The power of, that's why Nelson Mandela said that the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world is education.
Yes.
It's education, you know? I think we cannot underestimate its power. So that's why I stay positive.
Yeah.
It's
beautiful.
And I've seen it. I've seen stories of, there's this guy in Mexico in the government in one state called Nayarit. And he took the campaign. He was doing it, you know, went to every city in the state teaching. And he told me that there was this young guy that had left his house, run away, and started selling drugs, you know. And then he came to the seminar that he gave. And he had this realization that he had rights and he had the responsibility to make this a reality for everybody. So somehow he stopped selling drugs. He went back home. He went back to school. He's now going to high school, and then he's a volunteer of Youth for Human Rights.
Wow.
He wrote me this letter. The guy. I said, "Wow."
Wow.
That was a seminar that I didn't give. It was someone else who I teach how to give them.
Yeah.
And then he got this.
What an amazing product.
So how can I not believe in magic and
That is
Superman?
magic, bro.
I think the world can change. We have to believe it can change. Otherwise,
You're right.
what are we doing?
You're right.
That brings me to a question, right? What do you think is more important? And I think I know the answer to this, but what do you think is more important? Catching and arresting the bad guys that are the worst violation, of human rights, or teaching the good people what to do and how to do it to make a different future? What do you think is more important?
Great question. I think both are the same as important, but catching the criminals are, that's the authorities. I can't do much about that.
Right.
I'm a simple person, a simple citizen. But I think that's very important. And the more aware we are as a society, more pressure we put on them to do it, right? So I think that's very important. I cannot say, oh, that's not. No, it is super important.
Yeah, because if people are watching and recognize these are also indicators.
Yeah.
If you see one of these being violated,
yeah,
there's a decent chance there's more going on there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with awareness, we put pressure on them. So me personally, what's more important? Teaching, because that's what I can do.
Yes.
And that's why I have decided to dedicate my life to it.
And one feeds the other two.
Exactly.
Because if a citizen goes and sees, for example, freedom of expression, right? If they're noticing, let's say there's somebody being moved, obviously some parents do this, but they notice somebody being moved along in their neighborhood, and it's like they try to say something like, shut up or whatever, right? Their freedom of expression is being cut. That's an indicator of oh, what's going on over there? At least they'll look.
Yeah.
At least if they know that that's a human right, they'll at least look.
Yeah.
Right. And people looking is, in my experience, what leads to things being uncovered.
Yeah.
If no one's willing to look because they don't see it as an out point, because they don't know that people have basic human rights.
Yeah.
You're never going to catch anybody doing anything wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And, like I said, when I work and I see results, that's what keeps me going. In Mexico, since 2022, we've been working with a federal agency of the government that is, it's called the System for the Development of the Families. And they have branches in every city. It's a great system, great agency. They see for the well-being of the families. Yeah, me too. And the people there turn out to be really sensible to these things. And even though that's their job and they get paid to do it, I tell them, they ask me, how much do you get paid? Well, I have to pay to do this, I have to sell many Bloopys so that I can be able to do this. And they don't believe it at first, but then when they see the consistency, but they became part of it from their heart. Now the term ended. We continue the alliance because we have a partnership, signed, and they took us to 17 states of Mexico. In each state, they would bring officials of almost every city of that state. They would choose, who are really involved with children and families and stuff. And they will give them a seminar, 6 hours, 3 hours on how to use these materials. And then we'll give them an online course, all sponsored by the Youth for Human Rights. All the materials were free. I mean, at the end of the day,
and who sponsors at the end of the day? Who sponsors Youth for Human Rights?
The Church of Scientology.
Yeah,
this is
that's
all
why,
this material.
Exactly.
Is sponsored by the Church of Scientology and by us, by you and me and you as well.
Exactly.
All the three of us
me too.
and all of my friends. We're literally put our money and work. Like you're saying, oh, how much you get paid? No, we put money to make this happen. This is, and we don't care what religion you are, who you believe in. This is
it has
non-denominational. We just want you to have your rights. That's it.
No, no proselytism. Huh?
Yeah.
You cannot find the name of Scientology here anywhere.
Nope.
Yeah.
And like you said, we accept all political parties. We're non-political. All religions are welcome. Everybody, in controversial topics, we don't get involved. Our position is we don't have position because we want both parties to learn their rights.
Both parties should have rights.
Exactly.
Exactly. That is it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so we did this tour in 17 states. We trained more than 6,000 government officials, and they send us their success stories. Hey, come on. This is what keeps me positive, I end my seminars giving an inspirational quote to make them become advocates, right? And I said, listen, maybe you're thinking right now that you cannot change the world. You're just a government worker or a family, mother, or student, or whatever. Okay, let's acknowledge that maybe it's possible that one person cannot change the world.
Yeah.
But let's also acknowledge that it's also true that everything that ever changed the world always started with one person.
That's right.
And let that person be you.
Yeah.
You know, and one day I received this letter from one of the officials that said, you said that one person cannot change the world, but today you changed 600 people that were listening to you.
Wow.
Like,
Oh my God.
that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
You know, life is beautiful. The human being is beautiful. I mean, we see our daughters, the artistic things, the people who do sports, not only arts and sports, like when you create a business and the life, the creation that a human being is capable of. Let's just have a world. You know what's human right number 28? The right for a fair and free world. That doesn't mean a pink color planet.
Let me read it. A fair and free world. This is number 28. There must be proper order so we can all enjoy rights and freedoms in our own country and all over the world.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. And then if you work hard for your goals, then you accomplish them. If you don't, you don't. You know, it's not that everybody loves each other, everything is free, everybody kisses each other. No. There are going to be differences. There are going to be, problems. But at least there's going to be dignity. We're not going to kill each other because we don't agree.
Yeah.
We can get to that point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing. Now, I want to also talk about the Bloopys briefly, right? Because what I want to say, you mentioned to me the other day when we met that like sometimes you're doing this human rights convention and like kids will come up to you, hey, you're the guy from the Bloopys.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've been giving lectures on human rights for 20 years and they recognize you from a thing on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So tell me, how did you get into that business? How did you do this?
I saw some friends selling them, and me and my brothers decided to bring this because we saw them here in the United States, and so we brought them to Mexico, and we did this demonstration that is very cool. That's why I got that many views, because it's cool. And I honestly like to draw. When I was a kid, I always liked drawing. I'm not very good at it, but I like it. So you can see that I enjoy it. Yeah, the right to play. And, we have this business selling online at malls, in a kiosk, doing demonstrations at home shows, fairs, And one day we were doing very good because I always travel with human rights. And I say like I have many wives, Human rights is my wife and my business is my wife. And they're very jealous, the two of them. And my wife is the least jealous. She's the one giving me away, And so the business was not doing very good. And my wife told me, we had a home show, and I said, look, I'm going to the home show. You want me to do a video for TikTok? Like I can do a little dance or something? And she said, no, do the demonstration. I said, no, we've done the demonstration many times. It's not going to work. Let me do a dance or something for TikTok, because that's what people like. And she said, no, do the demonstration. I did the demonstration. It was a Friday. And I gave it to her. She went to visit her mom, and she put it up at 7 p.m., We went to sleep. And Saturday at 5 in the morning, my phone was and I saw the sales, and too many sales, and I was like, wow, what's going on? And by that time it was 2 million views, no?
Wow.
And it ended up with 47 million views,
goodness.
and that changed our life.
Yeah.
And I go to the school of my kids and, hey, Mr. Bloopy, hey, and they take photos with me. And I've been giving human rights seminars. And, excuse me, are you the guy of the Bloopys? Can I take a photo with you?
Yeah.
And that opened the door for a new, brighter future, And that's why I believe in magic also, That's why I stay positive, because I think if you...
One moment.
Yeah.
One moment can change everything. That's the thing. Like
one moment.
And one woman.
Wow.
Have the same.
And one woman.
That's right.
Your wife,
My wife.
your wife.
I love you.
Listen,
Yes.
these women,
She believes
they
in
do
me.
one note, like do this thing. You're like, what? Okay. And then the magic happens.
Yeah.
So I just have to
She's
say,
very
well
good
done.
at that.
Well
She's
done
very
for
good at that.
finding
Thank
your
you.
wife.
Thank you. Yeah. It was great, and she helped me also with human rights and with the business. So I am pleased to say that I wake up every morning feeling like I have $10 million in the bank, like that. Even though I don't, but feeling like, wow, thank you, exactly. But I feel excited about every day, because everything I do, I try to do it in the best intention to help other people, including Bloopys, Like sometimes, a woman wrote to us an email, said, look, I ordered the Bloopys for my daughter's birthday, and Mercado Libre in Mexico didn't deliver, and they gave me the money back, but I didn't want the money back. I wanted this. And I said, tell your daughter that Mr. Bloopy is going to send her some Bloopys for her birthday. And I send them for free, And those moments for me are priceless. Like the fact that they can feel this, excitement.
Yes.
So I really enjoy what I do.
Your name's not actually Mr. Bloopy.
No.
Like your middle name is not Bloopy.
No, that's just our brand.
How'd you make up that name? Because you made that name.
Yeah, I made it up. When I used to draw, when I was a kid in elementary school, I liked to draw cartoons that were rounded, like chubby. So for me, in my mind, that was like bloop, 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 and from there, bloopies.
The bloopies.
Yeah.
That is so
amazing.
funny.
That's brilliant. That's amazing.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I want to segue into, this podcast. A lot of what we talk about is Scientology, Scientology ideas, Scientology concepts. And I'm curious, how did you find the church? Like, how did you get into Scientology?
My dad bought Dianetics when I was 5 years old, 1978.
Wow.
I met in Mexico in 1973. And
You said I'm made in Mexico.
well, that's what I think. And I grew up in Scientology, that's all I knew. And when it was good because they taught me how to study.
Mm-hmm.
That helped me a lot in my life.
Pretty important.
To do clear words in a dictionary, that opened the world for me. So, but until that event in 2009, that I saw that thing that I never saw, because in a way I grew up in a bubble. I grew up in a church every week, and But when I saw that happening, I realized that I didn't have to find Scientology. I didn't have to buy a book or watch a commercial on the Super Bowl. My parents gave it to me on a silver tray. I took it.
Yeah.
They never forced it on me. I took it. But still, I said, I need to know there's a good reason why I got so lucky. There's got to be a good reason why I got so lucky. They gave it to me on a silver tray. So I felt this need to be in exchange with life,
Wow.
at that moment. But
Oh my God, that's
amazing.
Wow.
Thank you.
Jeez.
So, born and raised. basically.
Yeah, born and raised.
Yeah,
Born and
yeah,
raised.
literally.
I met my wife in the Church of Scientology.
Yeah.
She was there's a therapy, the church that is called auditing.
Yeah.
It's not like a therapy, but it's like a spiritual counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And she was giving it to my dad. So we met and we fell in love. We got married at the church.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's where we also did the welcoming ceremony, christening of our daughter.
Yes.
Of the two daughters, So that's part of our lives. That's part of our life.
Yeah.
What I like about Scientology very much is that it teaches me, or it motivates me to take responsibility for the civilization.
Yeah.
Makes me feel I am part of that civilization, so I have a responsibility. And I haven't seen that in any other place, even though I respect all beliefs and everything. And we get along with, we have friends from all religions.
Yeah.
But I like that part of the responsibility.
Yeah.
I think it's very important.
Yeah. Totally.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And in your own words, what is Scientology?
Oh, that's very good. I think it's
That's a question.
it's an applied philosophy. It's a study of life, taking life from the spiritual point. It recognizes the spiritual existence, meaning there's a creator, there's a higher force or something. And it's applying the scientific method of study to that study.
So somebody's watching this and they're like, one thing, I mean, you're so positive. I'm gonna maybe speak for more like humanoids here, right? If they see this and they're like, either they're pissed off or they're inspired or whatever the emotion is, but they want to actually do something. What, like if somebody sees this and they're like, wow, I need help with that. What do they do?
Well, anybody can order this. This is what we call info kit, or a portfolio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they, youthforhumanrights.org, it's available in 17 languages.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So they can just order it and they get the booklet. They get, this is an old version because I have it in my luggage, but now we have a QR code to download all the videos because no one has a DVD anymore.
Yeah.
This is for a
is that?
museum.
No, I'm just kidding.
But there's a QR code here
Cool.
where they can download all the videos that we
And
have.
we'll put that. We'll put that here in the link.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put that in the links in the show notes. Download all the human rights videos.
For each of the 30 human rights, there's a public service announcement. It's a spot of 1 minute. Some of them are 30 seconds. Amazing. So beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful. You know, it's inspiring.
And they get this. Like, what would you tell them to actually do with this?
Well, in
What's the
this,
doings?
here it tells them ideas of steps they can take, you know. But what I would do is put the videos on the social media. You know, there's a documentary called The Story of Human Rights, 9 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it gives you, you know, a summary of more than 3,000 years from Cyrus the Great to today, how mankind has always fought for these liberties, you know, respect and dignity. And that fight still continues today, and how you can do something about it and be part of it, you know? Like, let's never stop dreaming that a better life is possible. Because that's what keeps us going. If not, what would be the point of being here?
Yeah.
What would be the point of
That's
being
right.
here, you know? So,
Yeah. Amazing. Good.
So I mean, this seems so like common sense and so good. Like, hey, you should have human rights, or you have human rights, but like, we all should have human rights, and let's fight for them. And like, are there any objections? Someone says like, hey,
Why
you
is
should
this
know
even
your,
a fight?
we should
That's
know
a
your
great
human
question.
rights, right?
That's a
like,
great question.
You should know your human rights. So you go like, what are the objections that people say? Or there's no objections. Like people are like, yes, you're right. It's good.
Yeah,
It's,
that's
or
a
like,
great. What do people
does
say?
anybody like say like, no, this is terrible. I think no one should have human rights.
you know,
Yeah, that's a good point. How do you even do it?
that's a good point. I don't have anybody said, no, you know, I believe that even if they do have objections, they're afraid to say it because they're going to, you know, look very bad.
Yeah.
But I've heard, for example, that, we already do. We already do. Just because human rights, it could be so wide. There's hundreds of human rights, you know,
Dude.
like there's children's rights, women's rights, elderly people rights,
Totally.
indigenous people, you know. So you can get confused in all that thing.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the Universal Declaration because you can see it's a lot of common sense on it. It was inspired in the tragic events of World War II. And is the mother of all the other instruments of human rights. From the Universal Declaration, there's more than 80 international documents that have come up, you know? So before you get overwhelmed and studying we don't want you to become an expert on human rights. Just read the base.
Yeah.
And then you can see how that applies to the decisions you make every day in your life on how to treat others. Your wife, your mom, your brother, your boss, your teacher, you know? But I've had that kind of objection that, we know. There's nothing to teach me because we know. Well, we do it, you know. That's the most common.
That's the most common one.
So follow up to that. Somebody's interested in this, like for me, for example, and I, you know, other people are just kind of like complacent about it. They're like, oh, we already have human rights. That's what the UN's for. That's what blah, blah, blah is for. How do you approach getting them to actually say like, no. We as individual citizens need to actually take this up and do something about it and actually get people more aware of the fact that there are human rights and they're not actually being protected.
Right. Well, unfortunately, I use human trafficking because I know that people are not aware of it.
The data.
Yeah, the data.
Yeah.
So I use that to like a wake-up call. You know, no, but it's fine. You know, everything's good. I don't need that. Or
Does that happen with like government people? They're like, no, human rights are good.
It happens with government people, academics, day-to-day people, like they're not in the government, or the professors, you know, like engineers. With anybody, it can happen. But when you talk about something that is a problem, you make it real for them.
Yeah.
Then they're more aware, so they come to, oh, wait a minute. So what can we do about it? You know, that always works.
I'm gonna pretend that I don't know.
Or about
I'm in
to role
France.
play?
Yeah, I'm in France.
Oh yeah.
And you're trying to get human rights implemented, and I'm in charge of I don't know, whatever, human rights. And I'm in charge. What's the normal government person that should be doing this? What would be like the role, the ministry,
I would hope that the Ministry of Education.
Ministry of Education.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in the Ministry of Education, and you just booked a meeting with me.
Yeah.
Okay, start a meeting.
Okay, so thank you for the meeting. Thank you for seeing me. So I wanted to talk to you about Youth for Human Rights International. It's a nonprofit organization with presence in more than 150 countries in the world. And our purpose is to teach human rights to youth, specifically the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights,
Okay.
to inspire them to become advocates for tolerance and peace. Today, you know, if we take these 30 human rights and we read them, we can see they're just an ideal.
Mm.
From the ideal to the reality, there's a big gap.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
for example, human trafficking is the second largest criminal industry in the world, $245 billion.
Oh.
You know, you before you were asking how many people are victims of that. Walk Free is an organization from Australia. They estimate there's 50 million people
50
living
million.
50.
Sorry, I'm not in the meeting.
Yeah.
So
50.
50 million.
That's the estimation, 48, 50. When the slave trade happened from Africa, taking people in boats, chained like animals and being sold, from the 1500 to the 1800, it probably was about 12, 13 million people that they took, right?
In the whole time.
3 centuries. Today, the estimation is 48 million people, you know? There's, according to UNICEF, every day, 16,000 children die of starvation.
Mm.
Every day. Not war, not cancer, not AIDS, starvation, food, you know? That's one child every 5 seconds.
Wow.
There's an estimation 1 billion adults that they don't know how to read or write. 1 billion adults. Half of the population of Earth lives with less than $2 a day. So, you know, but the point is not how bad it is. The question is who is going to handle that? Who's going to solve those abuses, you know? I think the answer starts with education. I think it's the first step for the answer. So if you would like, I can give a seminar to your staff just to see how it works, because the way we do it is focused on the responsibility everybody has. And it's free of charge.
Free of charge?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, and how long is the seminar?
It's 2 hours.
Okay, good. Well, I mean, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. So
There you go.
just as a point for me, when
Good.
I love when you said, hey, we're going to change it with education, I feel like that's me.
Yeah.
That's my job. So I'm like,
exactly.
okay, let's roll. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Because that's, I think that's the thing where people don't know they can do something. But again, I mean, if you're in charge of, like, each family is in charge of the education of their own kids. Really, it should be. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, it changes.
Yeah.
A lot of times, okay, you maybe think the school is going to educate your kid.
It
may or may
actually,
not.
it's here
Yeah,
in the right to education. Let me see. 26. Everyone has the right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory. Technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. 2. Education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. And 3. Parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children.
See?
Wow.
Boom.
1948.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, in Florida, that we have that.
Yeah.
By the way, like I just started homeschooling my daughter.
Oh, wow.
And in Florida, you actually can decide what they should learn.
Yeah.
And
I think
not in every state is like that, or not in every country for sure. But I think that it starts the parent educating their kids. Because if every parent did that, the world has changed immediately.
Yeah.
Because everybody was a child to somebody. Well, obviously some maybe don't have their parents alive ever, right? Of course, like that happens. But most people are raised by a parent, at least one. And the change can be that fast. And then there's levels, because then it's like in the school. So hey, can we get education in the schools? Then there's at the TikTok level, where social media, some viral thing. I don't know how, but some way we'll figure out some viral video, right? Because I know, there was a campaign, I want to say, for human rights in Latin America, where there was like an artist, and each artist adopted one of the human rights.
Yes.
And that was a big campaign.
I have that booklet,
That was so cool, because imagine you see here in the United States, I don't know, you have, who's the most famous, like, I don't know, famous people.
Most famous person?
I don't want to get into
Tom Brady, there you
go. Okay, so Tom Brady goes and he has the right to play. Yeah. And he takes it on.
And that's a perfect one for Tom Brady. Would you like to represent the right to play? Universal right.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Then you take, I don't know, Keanu Reeves. And Keanu Reeves goes, I don't know, the right to move. You can move anywhere you want, right?
Like in the Matrix.
And but I'm serious, like, you do that, and everything can change so fast, because there's that power, there's a reach online, there's a reach, just how the bad guys can reach really fast. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. So I want to say thank you for bringing awareness to this. Yeah, we'll do what we can, obviously, to push it, guys. If you want to further human rights, please share this episode, share this QR code, the human rights, because it's almost impossible for someone to say like, no, you shouldn't have human rights.
Exactly.
It's all hidden. So I think the attack to things that are hidden is to reveal them.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Because when they're revealed and people are
Exactly.
known, it will not thrive, cannot survive.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
Sunlight is often the best disinfectant.
Wow.
You heard that one before?
Well,
No.
no,
Mhm.
that's amazing. And it's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's true.
So is there any parting words that you want to say to like someone listening to this? What do you want to, what's a message? Like, say you have the message, somebody knows nothing about you, nothing, like, what should people really, really know?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Thank you, because you've helped me a lot, even with your course. If they haven't done your course, they should do it because it's amazing. And I want to say that the reason I do it is because I believe that things can be better. So if you feel something when you see injustice, if you feel something inside that when you see pain, and you don't agree with it, I think that's normal. I think, and if people say that's not normal, it's because they're not normal,
That's
but
right.
it's normal to feel indignated. And sometimes we don't know what to do, but there's always something we can do. And I think education is an investment. We are, like I said, planting seeds in a fertile soil. So I hope this can help you. It has helped me a lot to give other people an opportunity to, it's a responsibility. I like talking about that responsibility because, like you said, education, we as parents, we have the right, but it's also the responsibility. Mary Shuttleworth, the founder and president of Youth for Human Rights, says that she, for example, I have the right to education, no? But if I go to school and I don't do my homework, I don't pay attention, I don't take responsibility, I lost my education, not because anybody hid the books from me, but because I didn't take responsibility for my rights. So it's very important. And the best way to raise responsibility is through education and raising awareness. So believe in yourself, believe in what you feel as a human being, and believe that you can do something about it.
Amazing.
That's right.
Wow. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And the title of this podcast is called the Don't Do Nothing.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So don't do nothing, guys. Share it, watch the videos, do
That's right.
something, because the wrong thing to do is nothing. All right. Thank you, Raúl.
Thank you.
Yes.
Gracias.